Hello everyone, I'm Antom64.
And I'm Speranda.
And welcome to the HellfireComms playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch. This is maybe a big day is overselling it, but it's been a while since I did my blind stream of the original game, all the way back in 2012 for the channel. We're just going to go ahead and get things started here. This is not going to be a blind run. I have been watching KZ Excellence run of the game. It's pretty fun watching him react to all the big moments that I knew were coming. But we're going to go through. We're going to just basically do a light coverage of everything, because Spar and I, we love some Xenoblade, don't we, mate?
This is absolutely my favorite game ever.
Wow, really? Ever?
Yes, ever.
Wow.
I cannot think of another game that I would put above this.
There's probably a few that I'd put, but they're mostly like Sonic-based, so you probably shouldn't listen to me.
I mean, there's a few Sonic games that I like, but we're not here to talk about that.
Right, so there is an epilogue to the game. We will be covering that after the fact. I haven't watched anything of that. I know some bits and pieces, but otherwise we should be good. We got everything in here. I'm not really going to change anything there.
Yeah, the default's pretty good. You could customize as you go.
As a special bonus for having played at least one chapter of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you can start the game with 100G. You know what? Why not?
It's really helpful, because it allows you to buy some armor at the beginning of the game, which you'd otherwise have to grind for.
Well, like I said, this isn't a blind run or anything, so anything that can make recording more comfortable is fine by me. Man. It's getting to me already, Spar.
Long ago,
I love the opening.
One of the best in an RPG that I can think of.
And it looks so much better now.
in a boundless sky.
I have to laugh. We're not really going to cover like the technical aspects of the Definitive Edition, like, you know, how it had to adapt certain resolutions to be able to run. But I played it at 240p on a new 3DS, and I didn't really care all that much. So don't be coming to me with you're playing an inferior game sort of thing.
I have about 120 hours in this,
And the Mechonis.
and 120 hours in different saves on the original. So I've put my time into this. I can say I noticed a couple of times where the resolution went down. Very, very few points where the frame rate went down. I noticed more of that during Future Connected, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
That's fair enough, because that's like mostly new content and whatnot.
Yeah, that's completely newly rendered area. But again, we'll get to that. This is just really cool, this fight.
The Bionis always reminded me of that one evil Megazord that Rita sent after the Rangers in Biomorphin.
Until at last.
Oh, it's been so long, I have no idea.
I won't be able to tell you the name off by heart, but just like two titans making up this one world. It's just them and an endless sea. What a setting for a fantasy RPG.
Our world.
It's so great, and the way it's set up, which is obviously spoilers, is also really great, and one of the reasons that I love this game so much.
We may dip our toes into discussing spoilers, but for people who are just watching this for the first time, I'll try and be as vague as possible. I apologize if I slip.
We'll definitely try to keep spoilers out of at least the first part.
Yeah.
Because this is the one most people are going to watch, probably, because YouTube algorithm.
Oh man, when Shulk got the golden gun and defeated Gruntilda atop her castle, that was amazing.
And then Hercules showed up. It was great.
Became a rhythm action game at that point. Man, who would have thought Ricky had those sort of moves? Ah, no! That poor guy. Anywho, here's your hero, quote unquote, may not be the main character of the game. I remember first seeing Dunban back when they were showing trailers, well, when the first trailers were shown, and the game was called like Monado Ends of the World or whatever.
I remember hearing about that. I didn't know about this game until I saw... Well, actually, I think I heard about it from you after I joined HFC. I don't think I ever saw the game, really. It's just a lot of people talked about it and praised it, and I just had to play it. My first time playing this game, I actually rage quit because of some unique monsters. and I just really wasn't enjoying it. I came back about a year or so later, played it on the HFC stream, and absolutely goddamn loved it. Having the stream to, bounce off of and talk about just made it so much better.
Dunban's VA, whose name I cannot recall off the top of my head, actually made a tweet fairly recently. I was like, I did a game a few years ago, or whenever I did it, and I, to this day, still get messages of thanks for voicing my character, which is very sweet. And, it's just like stuff like that. The guys enjoyed their time. Obviously, this was dubbed in the UK, I think.
It was, and they chose not to redub for American voice actors, which I appreciate, because I like the voices. Dunban's voice actor is named Rufus Jones.
Oh, man.
I don't know that I recognize anything else he's done, but I do want to bring up a couple other things that I noticed. Dunban's Japanese voice actor, whose name is Ryo Horikawa, you will definitely recognize some roles that he's played, because he plays Vegeta, and also the Japanese version of Captain Falcon for the Smash Brothers stuff.
Look, alright, I watched the Min reveal just like everyone.
I actually did not.
I knew it before the reveal, but whatever.
Funny thing about Dunban playing Vegeta, though, Mumkar here, his Japanese voice actor plays Cell.
That's great. Perfect.
Also plays Xemnas to connect everything back to Kingdom Hearts. Because it's HFC, we have to connect to Kingdom Hearts. There you go. You can cross it off your bingo sheet now.
Nice. Alright, this is how battle works. It's kind of a MMO RPG sort of affair, where you're not really, doing action and whatnot. It's not an action RPG. You auto-attack, you select from a battle palette, and so on. And you dodge, you weave, you bip and you bop, and so on and so forth, until the Mechon are all dead.
A lot of the combat is, I won't say automated, but that's almost a good word for it. MMO is definitely a good way to describe it.
Okay, a chant will allow us to give the others a fighting chance in battle, because Mechon cannot be damaged by anything other than the Monado, so that's where Monado enchant comes in handy.
It also causes your attacks to do a tiny little bit of extra damage to Mechon as well.
I forgot how powerful Monado Buster is. We got camera control on the right stick. We're selecting targets with the shoulder buttons, and the D-pad is for selecting stuff on the battle palette. I remember the original Wii game actually came with a red classic controller, and that shit was comfy as fuck.
I did not know about this. That sounds pretty badass. Another thing that they added to this one, I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the original, if you hold down the ZL trigger, you can use the right stick to actually move the camera away, which I appreciate, because I hate having my camera in really close.
Oh, okay. Always a big lad.
You're kind of in first person now. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Move in a little bit. There we go.
One thing I do want to mention, you brought up moving on the battle palette with the D-pad. A lot of people actually prefer using the Switch's rebinding controls to move that to the shoulder buttons, just so you can move and control the battle palette at the same time. I see the benefit, but I don't really like it myself.
I mean, it's not an action RPG. You're not going to be, dodging under stuff with, direct timing and whatnot.
Yeah, I took out the super bosses without changing them, so I think it's fine.
One of the unlockable games that we'll be doing for the Super Nintendo phone, which will have passed and hopefully did good by the time these videos start going live, is a showcase of the Super Boss battles in Xenoblade DE. So we hope you enjoy those. Enchant is going. Let's do it. Prologue B is playing now. One of the best songs on the soundtrack.
Absolutely. And what a soundtrack. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, I really hope I don't die to all the super bosses in the marathon. Hope it goes great. Hope you guys enjoyed the marathon now that it's passed by the time this goes up on YouTube.
I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I had to laugh when I was taking stock of what's going live after the Super Nintendo fun, and it was a Sonic playthrough, a Pokemon playthrough, and a redo of Xenoblade. If that doesn't say everything you need to know about HFC and how in the comfort zone we are, I don't know what will.
We also just got done doing like a year's worth of Kingdom Hearts stuff, so there you go.
And a lot of Spyro as well.
Yeah. How's the Spyro been going, by the way?
Oh, very good. Tomorrow, at the time we're recording, we should be finishing it off.
Nice. You also recently finished up Astral Chain.
Yeah.
I need to sit down and watch through that because I am interested.
Well, you could play it yourself, but I don't know how you are with action RPGs.
Just from the little bits I've seen, I don't know anything about the story, but the visuals kind of... I don't know, maybe it's in video, but I really just can't tell anything that's going on screen.
Yeah,
so maybe I'll eventually play it for myself, but I kind of just want to watch the LP. I don't watch a lot of LPs, even from HFC that much anymore. I don't watch a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Dunban's such a Chad.
Look at him run.
Those idiots. I'll just come and get them an order when everything's quieted down a bit.
Oh, they're gonna die and I'm gonna win. Oh, fuck! Wait for it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tetris99.gif.
Oh, yeah, that is.
And it's funny because there is actually a Xenoblade DE event going on right now for an unlockable theme in Tetris 99.
Yep, and I think some of the music plays depending on how many players are left in the match, which is pretty cool.
Oh, belt it out, Rufus!
Knowing how some of those enemies are to fight, I don't know how Dunban and Dixon fought those by themselves.
And look at this. What if RPG would just be like, yeah, here's everywhere you're going to throughout the game, but we're just showing it in reverse here.
I will admit, some of the textures on the Bionis from this look don't look great, but we get past it. You know, it's fine.
That was a very Xenoblade X sort of intro, I think.
Yeah, just to quickly touch on Xenoblade Chronicles X, neither of us are really fond of it.
I haven't played it. I can't say anything about it.
I played like an hour and just, I couldn't. Create a character has no bearing on the story. The voice acting was like so much worse than this game, it's not even funny. The gameplay was just really boring. There was nothing going for it, in my opinion.
The joint section.
I think the only thing that really interested me was the mech combat, which is like apparently 80% of the way through the game.
Oh, I don't think it was that far into the game.
I don't think it was quite that far, but I've definitely heard it was at least halfway.
Oh, it's a pretty little dragonfly, so it is.
There's the shot from the trailer.
Yeah, man, we were all like, oh my god, it's an actual remaster. Holy shit.
I saw this and I'm like, oh my god, my boy Shulk, he looks so good.
He's pretty, finally, he's as pretty as his soul is. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a radical snowboard or something out of this. Go down Valak Mountain.
Get it off! I should be able to...
I don't think Shulk even knows what Valak Mountain is at this point.
Good point, yeah.
They did have to cross it to get to the Mechonis sword during the prologue, so at least there's that. Dunban would know what it is at least.
It's fucking Rhine time, baby.
Aw, Ryan's so cool.
Man, he really got handsomeified for this game.
He absolutely did. He looked kind of chunky in the original. Now everything's smoothed out and it looks great.
Alright. I'm gonna fight from the back. When the HP gauge is depleted, your character fucking dies at the end.
Pretty much.
So you can switch characters. I'm playing as Shulk for the majority of the beginning. Then maybe when we reach a new area, I'll switch to Rhine. And I'm going to try and rotate the party as much as possible, just to keep things interesting. Because that is one thing I definitely did not do in the original.
Without spoiling anything, I will say the final boss has 3 phases, and you're allowed to change your party in each one. So it's perfectly set up for you to switch out your party as much as you want for that.
A talent art. Here's something I didn't use much for Shulk, because, not to give anything away guys, but he may be getting a better sword soon.
If you've seen anything from this game, you probably know Shulk's getting the Monado. I mean, that's pretty obvious. You have to know that by now.
We have so little health right now, I'm kind of not used to it.
How do you think I feel? I've been playing this game at level 99.
Jeez. Alright, here we go. Backslash, aptly titled, does more damage when you attack from the back.
Shulk plays a lot like a rogue kind of character. Benefits on some of his attacks from the back or the side. He generally doesn't want to have aggro.
Ryan, could you pull, please?
You did so much damage with that backslash, he couldn't.
Well, they're dead now.
Thanks, Ryan. That was a close one.
It was a spiffy whiffy, wasn't it, Ryan? Hello, mate. Yes, it sure was.
I like how the HD on Ryan's armor actually means something now.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I think it actually stands for Homs Defense, like the Defense Force, but I always thought it was funny because the original game was definitely not HD.
Oh, not in the slightest. 100p, if that.
But it looks so pretty now.
I will say, some of the characters look younger as a result of the touch-ups, which I guess is fine because they look closer to their actual ages. It's not like a one-and-done thing where everyone is good or everyone looks bad, but just decide for yourself, really.
I'll say this much, the character models for the main characters definitely got the biggest improvements.
Oh yeah.
He's pretty scary.
You know, quest NPCs are kind of a little bit better, the world's kind of a little bit better. Most of all, it's just kind of improvements to the lighting and the character models for the main characters. Those are where the big improvements are. And just being 1080p.
Was this in the original, where you had a dotted path that you could follow?
Yes, I believe so. Something that's in this game that was not in the original is you can press in the left stick to bring up a mini-map.
Nice, so it's just throwing wave after wave of stuff at me. Autosave, good stuff. Okay, yeah, thank you. Oh Jesus, the event theatre. This is cool. You can view cutscenes, but you can change like the time of day, the weather and whatnot, so you can create your own Xenoblade movie.
It's pretty cool.
So yeah, that's how the map looks when you click in the left stick.
It's really helpful because it'll show nearby enemies, things that are required for quests show up on the minimap, which is really, really helpful. Oh my god, you have no idea. It's so great. It's what the original needed so much.
Now it should, after a few battles, start kicking us into expert mode. And what expert mode does, if I can explain before it actually pops up, is you can log away EXP that you get from quests, not from battles, and basically spend it when you want to, so you don't really risk becoming like over leveled or whatnot, and you can even level down if you want a bit more of a challenge.
I have seen the strongest enemy in the game, the strongest super boss, level 120 monster, taken down by level 1 Rhine, level 1 Shulk, and level 22 of another party member we'll meet later. Just because of the way the combat system works, and it's really impressive.
Oh, he said it every day, every minute of every day is Rhine time if you want it to be.
Can't have a rainbow without a little Rhine.
What a bunch of jokers. Get ready for a lot of, like, line spammage, but you know what? I like it. I like every bit of, like, meme-y, quippy dialogue in this game.
And there's a lot of it.
There sure is.
But it's all good. The voice acting, it's cheesy, but it's good. It's good quality, but it's cheesy, which is more down to the writing than anything.
The Collectopedia, for those of you who like getting little baubles and whatnot, it will actually reward you for doing so. Let's see if we can... Nope. It's the other one, I think. I'm not sure actually how we get to it. Collectibles, here we go. The Collectopedia.
I have never used the Collectopedia until this last playthrough that I did. I never bothered with it before, because I just never saw the point.
One is never enough.
But yeah, you actually get some pretty good items from completing sections of the Collectopedia, so I would recommend it. Keep in mind, a lot of the stuff is used for quests, so you might want to hold on to it for that.
Oh, we'll get to Colony 6, mate, don't you worry. I'm not sure if I'll be completing that for this. Right. Why don't we just go ahead and turn Expert Mode on right now. Reserve EXP. Expert Mode lets you store a portion of earned experience points for later use. It's disabled by default. Oh, you can just do it with the right stick. Okay.
You have to be on the Expert Mode screen, I'm pretty sure, for the right stick to work. That's such a weird tutorial.
So basically you can stock EXP and spend it when you want. The second game had a similar thing, where you would go to inns to level up and whatnot.
Was that X or Chronicles 2?
Oh, yeah, Chronicles 2, mate.
Okay, yeah. I didn't play a whole lot of 2. The combat at the start of the game really just didn't appeal to me at all. I've heard it gets a lot better later on. When you get like more mechanics added in, but at the start I just really didn't care that much.
Aha! Let's go. I think I've done enough leveling up for the time being. Once I get some quests in, that's when the big stacks will start to come in.
Yeah, just fighting enemies, just like this, is usually not the best way to grind in this game, unless you have specific setups, because boy, there's ways to do that, but usually just quests are the best way to level up.
Is this new, this auto-run feature?
This is completely new. It will keep you running in a straight line until you press up on the D-pad again or back on the control stick. You can change the direction he's running with, the left stick as well. So if you want to just take your thumb off the left stick for a while, it's not bad. I feel like it's a bit too jittery when you're trying to change his angle. So I don't use it a whole lot unless there's just a really, really long distance that I have to run.
Home.
What do you think of Colony 9?
I like Colony 9 a lot as a starting area. I wish there were more buildings to go inside, and that is one thing I will say. Xenoblade, being a 2012 game on the fucking Wii of all things, doesn't really excel at, but it's the environments that really work in this game. You will enjoy exploring, you will like running into things you really should probably be running away from. There's a smiley face on that wall over there, and it's a fun time, and they reward you with experience, so, it's best of both worlds.
They also usually reward you for exploring by throwing level 80 enemies at you in the level 10 area. So, there's that.
Okay, we get the quests and whatnot. Shall I say it or shall you?
What are we saying?
The quests in the game.
There's a lot of them. There are a lot of them. Jesus goddamn Christ.
Well, it's an MMO sort of game. They're not the best. In fact, I would say they're the low point in the game. They're not, like, soul-numbingly bad or anything, but they could be better.
There's a lot of very basic, go kill 3 of this enemy, go collect 2 of this item kind of quests. There's some that actually have a storyline and you interact with the characters and progress on certain paths. There's choices you can make that actually affect the characters that you run into. So there's some that are actually really neat. It's just, there's a lot of the really basic ones that don't really amount to anything.
Ooh, physical defense. Okay. What do you reckon I should buy here, mate?
I would honestly say, leave it for now, because you're going to come back with some more party members later, and you'll be able to see what all of them have and compare.
Okay. Let's see. I've got to remember what the buttons are and whatnot. Change equipment? No, that's not it. Collectibles, items. Where is my level up screen for characters and so on?
It would be under the system menu, and then expert mode.
You'll have to forgive me, guys, just while I work through stuff here. Well, no, I want to level up arts and whatnot. How do I get to that screen?
Oh, I don't think you have the option to do that yet. That you get that later.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Sorry, I didn't know what you were talking about there.
Well, I probably could have stood to, you know, fucking clarify what I was talking about. We have a jump. You won't really be making much use of it.
There are a couple places where it is relevant. Not a lot. Usually involves slides, which are fun. So this is one of the sort of storyline quests that you can do. This lady's worried about her grandson, who spends all night punching air in order to train to get stronger.
Oh, bless him. Bless his little cotton socks.
I think she has 2 grandchildren, but one is a Nopon, which I would hopefully assume is adopted.
Why? You some kind of, like, Homs and Nopon hater sort of thing?
I don't know, it just kind of feels like a Skitty and Wailord situation.
I know about that. Yeah, I'm learning new things about you every day, Spar, to be honest.
You knew I was a lewd person, Tom, but I'm not that lewd.
Jesus. I'm not going to focus on the quest too much. They're as basic as you would probably expect from an MMO and whatnot. Some offer coin, some offer experience points, some offer both. Just pick them up, and you can like come across them while you're going through the world. And I believe in Definitive Edition, you can even like set quests so they're easier to find and whatnot.
Well,
You can set one quest as your active quest, which makes it so that the requirement for it will appear as a blue icon on the map instead of red, and it'll make it so that it appears even if it's farther away, because some of the maps are just so freaking huge that the items that you need aren't fully spawned in, so they won't appear on the map until you get close to it.
I never really understood how the gem making system worked in the original. I knew like to put special gems in my weapons and armor and whatnot, like give Shulk agility, give Ryan defense because he's a tank and so on, but actually making them,
It's one of those things that you can just kind of throw stuff at it and it'll work well enough, but there's some intricacies to it that are not difficult to learn. Enel, who does a lot of videos for Xenoblade 2 and Definitive Edition, had a pretty good guide that helped me get some good stuff for the super bosses, and just good guides in general, so I would go recommend going to look at his videos if anyone's interested.
what's his YouTube name, mate?
Enel, E-N-E-L.
Okay.
He did a lot of stuff for Xenoblade 2 when that was, you know, the bigger game that came out. And now he's doing just about everything for Definitive Edition as well.
Oh, bless him. So yeah, you get gems, you put them in. It's just like buffs and whatnot, really.
Sort of along the line of materia, except they're just kind of stat boosts instead of spells and stuff like Final Fantasy would have it.
Yeah, materia is what I would liken it to as well. It's so weird to see Shulk with any weapon that isn't the Monado.
To bring that point up, there is actually a sort of glamour system in this game where you can have any piece of equipment showing, so you don't have to look like a nerd for the whole game wearing the stupidest armor. Shulk's weapon cannot be customized until you complete a New Game Plus.
Ah, okay.
Because there's very specific story reasons
Oh,
for him using certain things.
I got a spanner, so I did.
Yep, the red items on the field are key items that are used specifically for quests. Sometimes story quests, sometimes just the random ones we run into. If you pick it up and then go speak to the quest giver, it will automatically complete, which is really nice.
There's another quest around here. Here it is. I'm just picking them all up like Pokemon, so I am.
Usually if a quest is given by an unnamed NPC, it's just one of the very basic ones, like these, but that's fine.
More money is always a good thing.
These are the things that you would have to grind to get money if you want to accomplish anything if you don't have that starting bit from having the Xenoblade 2 save.
Yeah. Wedding ring.
Why is there a wedding ring behind Dunban's house?
I don't know. Maybe Fiora was like, oh, why won't he fucking ask today, and just throw it out the window. Oh, Shulk. Fiora could literally be naked in front of you, and you'd be like, oh, that's a good weapon, so it is.
Pretty much.
Well, we'll see Fiora soon. This guy has a butt ton of quests, so it'll be very dangerous if Bunny's got inside. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you. 800 coin for a few bunnies.
Yeah, you have no idea how useful that is without the bonus, though.
Don't forget, you don't have Ryan currently, so don't go fighting any, like, unique monsters and whatnot. You will regret it.
Fighting normal monsters with just Shulk in your party is honestly really hard.
I have an idea of where we could finish today. It will all depend on how fast leveling goes.
Yeah, it'll depend a lot on how fast the segments go. I have a spot where I would like to stop just because it makes a nice story beat, but we'll see how we go when we get there.
And, so just head to the beach, basically. I get it.
Yeah, that's where most of them are going to be.
Alright, eugenics it is. Thank you, quest giver man. You done? He's finally done, thank you. Hello there.
Hello.
Vangs are bats, by the way.
Yeah, they have a lot of fantasy-esque names for stuff like bunnets, vangs, things like that. It's whatever.
It's like Ariel and the Little Mermaid with a who-dads and whatchamacallits.
Fantasy games always have to have a weird name for humans, like Homs.
Nobody here right now.
Nope, some NPCs do appear here later. There's a fairly interesting quest line where the quest giver is there. I think after the first major story segment, you can start doing that. So that's one that I would recommend doing. There are a few side quests that I will probably recommend doing just because pretty neat little mini story things. But for the most part, I'll leave it up to you.
Okay. Pretty funny cutscene coming up now. Discovering landmarks is so fun in this game because exploring an RPG in an open world like this is fun as is, right? But you get experience for doing it, and you can also find secret landmarks which encourage just combing the landscape.
And the secret ones usually give a lot more XP and, you know, the arts points and stuff like that than the regular ones. They're also usually pretty dangerous to get to.
Oh yeah. Just off for a British walk, so I am.
You idiots! What the hell are you playing at?
Oh boy.
Oh, the Colonel's going to explode.
And now we have the comedy relief.
Theme of Antics is playing right now.
This is, as far as I know, Ricky's theme.
Huh.
It plays during his introduction.
No, I don't think it is. It's slightly different.
Champions don't whine.
There's a lot more whistling in this one, I think.
I just want to point out, I noticed this when my fiance Nat was doing the launch stream on the HFC channel for this game. Colonel Vanguard here, in this lighting, and the way the character models are changed for this game, he looks a lot more like a Dragon Quest character than he used to.
A little bit, yeah, I can see it.
He has that kind of shading.
We can't move the artillery.
I think I heard Shulk's VA in one of those soldiers there.
Adam Howden does a few things for this game.
The ether fuel proceeded to leak out, and now the cylinder is empty.
Well, change the cylinder then.
Do I have to do everything by bloody self? Who's running this army here? You are, sir. Damn right I am. Pow!
It'll be 3 days until more come in, sir.
I told you to keep a stock of fuel in reserve.
Honestly, running an army is a hard business, even if it's like during peacetime. Right now, Jesus, never mind.
Same old Colonel. At this rate, the men will all be dead before they see any action.
Wah wah. There's a little bit of wah wah wackiness throughout the game, but in my eyes it never reaches anime levels like it did in what little I played of 2.
What's up?
Yeah, 2 had, both in the character designs and some of the writing, a little bit too much anime for me as well.
I'm not, like, gonna bash 2 in every single part of the playthrough. I'm just getting that out of the way now. I much prefer the more grounded tone of 1, because it makes the world feel more important.
I will say I really enjoyed some of the characters and their story segments and the overall story, and just the world lore and everything in 2. It was the combat that I couldn't get into. I may come back to it at some point. I might do a stream, because a stream is what got me to love this game.
There you go.
So that might be a thing. When Nat was actually visiting me a couple years ago, she bought Xenoblade 2 for me. And ended up playing it herself, because she didn't have access to a Switch herself. And I had my Switch. So she played it while she was here. She played most of it. She didn't play all the way through the game. She played about 70%, I would say, judging by what she looked up online. And then when she had to go back home, I played a little bit of the game, and I didn't care for it. So I just sent the copy to her. She's the one that paid for it anyway.
Oh, Crabbles. Well, that works, because, like, I'm already, like, tasked with destroying some of those guys, so I might as well fight some on the way.
It's a nice thing where, you know, they work out like that.
Oh, there it is. The Smash Bros. Sword.
Alright, Shulk?
The Bonado.
When did you get back to colony?
Or if you prefer a biscuit sort of thing, the Mikado.
I see you've been busy.
And here's Dixon, alternatively Axl Rose mixed with Hulk Hogan.
I'm a fusion, brother.
Your research notes really helped.
He is a scientist. Don't let his hippie look for you.
He was fighting alongside Dunban in the beginning too.
Well, anyone.
He uses
The problem is
a machete
controlling it.
gun.
It's fine, you can say Gunblade, we're not gonna get sued.
I guess it is kind of a gunblade. He only uses it as a gun, as far as I know.
We're able to control the Monado.
So yeah, Bernardo, awesome cosmic power, but it comes with a price. No one, besides Dunban so far, can wield it without experiencing awful pains and whatnot.
And even, as we saw in the prologue, even Dunban wasn't really escaped from that.
I see. And the evidence to support your theory?
It's just a guess, really, isn't it?
Appears in the center when it's activated.
It's just what the script is telling me.
Is that what's in Dixon's hand? Is that the script? Now it's in HD, I can read every single line.
I think that's too small to be the script.
That awkward moment when Dixon accidentally calls Shulk Adam.
The Monado might conceal even more power.
That's a sexy sword right there.
If we could just...
I'm not gonna lie, as much as I love the upgrade for this game, the overly saturated bright lighting on the main characters compared to the background being kind of dull and drab does clash a little bit.
I didn't even notice.
I'm noticing it right now with the super close-up, well, not right now, but a second ago with the super close-up on Shulk and Dixon's faces against the really gray background, which doesn't happen a lot in the rest of the parts of the game, just in this one area where you're inside a gray room.
Fair enough.
Most of the time it's pretty okay, but this one area, it's pretty noticeable that it's like that. For the most part, again, I think it looks great.
Shoutouts to the one time Volk cosplayed Shulk with his own Monado and whatnot.
I don't think I ever heard about this. I may vaguely recall it.
Well, it's not a legend or anything.
Saved us. Saved our future. Next, it will be up to you.
You right there, Shulk? You look like you're having a flashback, mate. So I might slip into faux British mode sometime in the playthrough, even though I am like half British myself.
I was gonna say, how could you be faux British when you are British?
I'm half English, half Irish, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that.
So I'm bland as fuck, but I get angry at the worst times.
Yeah, that describes me.
Sure you.
It ain't healthy for a kid your age.
You should go out, maybe bang a Fiora or two, you see.
You should get out
Two.
and get some fresh air.
One Fiora's enough, isn't it, mate? I'm off to the pub, see you later. Anyway, back to ruminating over ancient technology. Never mind, he's going to.
Yeah, he's headed out to the park to do the same thing he was doing here. Just think about things.
I see. Monado.